kidding me? This is Sideways Talk with Riff Johnson. Go get him, Mr. Riff.
I'm falling sideways under your gaze.
And we're back with another episode of Sideways Talk with Riff Johnson. I'm just checking the levels here. It looks pretty good. Sometimes I think when we do these in-person ones, I never thought, I can put the computer over there, and then it's not even really in the shot. So, sometimes I learn things on the go, and that's just how life is sometimes. Sometimes you jump in, start doing it, and as you go, hopefully you get better, or at least keep it interesting. So today, I'm with my friend Jose, right here, Mr. Jose Santiago. We are in, technically, Robertsdale, Alabama, right now. I got a show tonight, not too far from here, down on Orange Beach. I'm learning all these areas because I have no idea. But how you doing, man? It's good to see you.
I'm all right.
Like we weren't just talking for hours. We're trying to make it look like I just stopped in. So Jose married my friend Charity, who was from Maine, and now here. And in our travels, we get to stay with you guys. Very kind, thank you. Very
fun.
Very appreciative and fun. So Jose is a huge music fan. As you can see, he is a percussionist, and I've heard he sings pretty well too, but you might not ever hear him.
Negative.
Charity has the inside scoop. We know. I see a video from the wedding. That was great too. So we're here for a few days, leaving tomorrow. Man, on our way to Mardi Gras. I don't know. Have you been to New Orleans for Mardi Gras?
Not as an adult. Well, no, I take it back. I was there at one Lundi Gras one time. Dad and I came out there, but we didn't hang out very long. We just went during the day.
Yeah.
Just kind of, went to Cafe Du Monde, and
yep.
We caught a marching band, so it was pretty cool. And then we just, headed back. So we didn't spend the night or anything.
What'd you call it? One
Lundi Gras. It was a Monday, the Monday before Mardi Gras.
Oh, that's it.
Right.
The Monday before. Okay.
Right. It's Lundi Gras.
I imagine it's still pretty wild. I think is it a matter of weeks that the whole, because I think it's already going, right?
Right. It started, I don't know, a week ago or so.
Yeah. Man,
maybe.
I like to party.
Something like that. And then it peaks on Fat Tuesday.
Okay. So when we went last year, we stayed in the area, and it was the week after. So I think everything was kind of just recovering.
Probably pretty mellow.
Yeah, we played a show. There wasn't a lot of people, cool people though, and I mean we still went down to Bourbon Street, and it was pretty hopping. But I imagine this time we're literally going to be there for the Mardi Gras celebration, like Fat Tuesday and everything. So I'm a little
nice.
We're definitely going to Uber there. We're not going to drive the van. Right. We're staying with a friend, which is awesome. Carrie, thank you so much. We're looking forward to seeing you. Not in Maine, and in Louisiana, New Orleans. So what I've learned from watching YouTube videos, they say New Orleans, like a lens of a camera. New Orleans. I don't know if you have a lot of experience with how the locals say it.
Yeah, I think it's generally New Orleans. Yeah. New Orleans, but I've heard some say New Orleans. New Orleans.
Remember the Battle of New Orleans was Johnny Horton. Where's my? Wait a minute. Check 1 2. I don't feel like I'm as loud as you. It doesn't matter. I think your wave files look better than mine.
Okay.
You have more voice for radio for some reason. Because it is louder, but it doesn't matter because in post production I can do all kinds of stuff, which is great. Cool. It's amazing that we can just with a phone we can get 4K video. Probably that's awesome. The actual YouTube video will be 1080 because I think I'm gonna mix it down because just the files are so big and it takes forever. And, I think a 4K video brought down to 1080 still looks pretty good, but we mix it over here, and then we take out that audio, and it's not exactly brain science, but it's gonna be good. So Mardi Gras. I'm excited, but it's funny. I guess we kind of noticed before, but this is the first time I've noticed, even all the way down to like Key West, like everybody's like, Mardi Gras, Mardi Gras, like in this quarter of the country. Mm-hmm. It's a big deal. Like, just everybody celebrates it.
Yeah. And certain other parts too, because I used to live in Springfield, Illinois, of all places.
Yeah.
And that's close enough to St. Louis,
Yeah.
which celebrates Mardi Gras.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So crazy.
So yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to learn a little more about it. New Orleans is so funny. It's funny because we went to Key West this trip this first time, and it was a very brief, quick in and out. Played a show, hung out that night, left, and got to see Duval Street and all that stuff, and it was all right. I don't think I have enough information to really form an opinion, a true opinion. I wasn't crazy about it, but I would give it another chance. If we had a little longer stay and got to meet some people and some of the, but I found it to be like, kind of like the New Orleans feel, like that part of like Bourbon Street, but I don't know, like not as cool. That's a terrible description. We didn't have as much fun there. I felt like people were super duper drunk, which they are in New Orleans too. But I don't know. It didn't seem to be a lot about the music. It seemed more about being entertaining, being fun, or kind of crass and dirty. But when you're in New Orleans, man, there's some of those musicians. When you get into some of those bars, it's like, holy cow, man.
Yeah.
And I think the later it gets, the crazier it is. And
I mean, yeah, New Orleans,
yeah.
definitely a music capital.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
One of the music capitals. Yeah.
Yeah. Even
So
people
much
on the
history.
streets, man. The street performers are just like
Oh yeah.
killers.
I was in the New Orleans area when I was a little kid. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, and
Yeah.
when we came to the States, I was only like 5, and we came to the New Orleans area
Yeah.
in Kenner, and yeah, I remember going down, New Orleans and seeing the
Yeah.
street musicians.
Oh,
And
wow, man.
they left a pretty big impression on me.
As a little kid, wow. I never
Yeah,
seen anything
going
like
to
that.
elementary school and all
Yeah.
that, and yes, and a couple tap dancers and
Oh,
that
okay.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
One man band. I saw my first one man band down there.
Yeah, that's cool. Was that like with like the cymbals on the knees and the drum on the back and that kind of?
Right, he had all kinds of stuff
Van
playing,
Dyke style, yeah.
a little like guitar, and then he had all kinds of percussion, a bass drum.
That's cool.
I don't remember it. It looked all homemade too. The
Yeah.
whole thing, looked.
Yeah, I do
Pretty.
all that now with my tablet. I'm so boring. I'm like do on the tablet. It sounds amazing, but it's all like synthesized now.
Oh yeah.
But I've still seen some people that do that when they have stuff strapped on and they pull a
Sure,
string.
one man band.
It's pretty neat. That's funny. Wow, from a young perspective, growing up in Maine, we didn't have anything like that. There was I had a local festival called the Egg Festival, Pittsfield, Maine, where I'm from, and it was pretty low key.
Yeah.
And there was some music stuff there, but it wasn't. It
See,
wasn't like that.
it was an egg.
Eggs, yeah.
egg
My
fest-
hometown was known for eggs, for farming, for
Oh.
yep, for producing eggs. They had great big egg barns there that have since pretty much been burned down or destroyed or removed. But yeah, the egg capital of Maine, I guess. They used to have a gigantic frying pan, and when after they'd have like the egg festival celebration, they'd make breakfast on this massive frying pan, put a ton of eggs in them, and just
Yep.
interesting. Come down for breakfast. But yeah, small town, like little rides, kiddie rides and stuff. Great. So okay. So as I said, Jose married my friend Charity, and we're here. He lives here. They live here. She's taking a nap. I forget I don't have to be real loud. The mic's right here.
She'll sleep through.
Yeah,
She'll
that's
definitely
okay. And you have been and are, and hopefully hoping to do more percussion for various acts in this area. I didn't know, so I'm assuming most of the people that follow me don't know that this is kind of a big deal area for certain kind of musicians from the past and now, and they seem to kind of gravitate to this area between here and the Perdido Key and all that stuff. The Florabama, which I'm sure a lot of people don't know about.
Right.
If you want to talk a little bit about that, you can talk a little bit about your dad and music and stuff, kind of whatever you want to do.
Sure.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. Well, down here, I call it L.A. You know, the other L.A.,
The other
Lower
LA.
Alabama.
Yeah.
But it's all, anywhere from, some people, the Gulf Coast,
Yep.
Redneck Riviera. This is pretty much the Redneck Riviera down here in
Okay.
the Alabama Gulf Coast,
Yep.
And Florabama, of course, is right on the line. It's on the beach there on the Florida Alabama line, and there's such a great a place for musicians, because they're all about the music
Yeah.
and drinking, of course, and having a good time. But yes, they have 3 stages going on.
Yeah.
In peak season, at least 3, and then there's a couple of restaurants that Florabama has across the street from the main place, and they also have music, and so there's they employ a lot of musicians. Let's just say that, and so that's one of the big attractions, I think, for musicians.
Yep.
Come down and get a gig at the Bama, and live on the beach or near it.
Yeah.
The weather's pretty nice down here.
It is, man. I mean, they say it's chilly. For me, I'm literally, I wore this tonight at my show probably.
It's
Yeah,
nice out. Yeah, we
it
got
is.
the door open.
Yeah, it's
and-
nice right now. Yeah, it's super nice. Today and yesterday, really, really nice. But yeah, I remember that first time we came down around the corner. You guys took us. Well, actually, it wasn't you then. I did come to see you that first trip down with Charity and her mom right down there in Alberta,
Yeah.
Alabama, and so to get to where the Florabama is, and which is technically Pensacola, right?
Yeah, technically,
pretty
Florabama, I
key.
think the address would be Pensacola.
Yeah. Just so where
But
people can
that's-
see where that is, the Gulf Coast of Florida. So not the big part of Florida, but coming up towards around.
That's right. So that'd be West Pensacola,
Yeah, to the west.
Perdido Key. Yeah,
Yeah. So like right now,
Key.
how far are we from New Orleans? We're not far.
about 3 hours or so.
3 hours. Yeah.
Maybe 3.5.
We're in Ocean
something
Springs,
like that.
and that's not far either. Ocean Springs isn't very far.
No, you can probably get to Ocean Springs in an hour.
Yeah. So that's the next show. That's a show.
Maybe
tomorrow
less. Yeah.
night. Yeah. But so that's generally where the area is. I remember coming over the big bridge and then seeing all the trees and seeing all the buildings, the big high rises. I was like, wow, what a cool place, man! You come right up and it's just beach, lots of beach
Condos. Got some
yeah.
nice looking condos, but it's definitely it's a lot. It's a lot of
Yeah.
condos.
It's a ton.
It
yeah.
does kind of. If you like a view of the beach, you got to really search for.
Yeah.
You got to search for a nice.
Unless you got a
view.
lot of money. But
Right, or unless you're actually at the condo, that's a nice view of the beach
Yeah.
when you're at the. But yeah,
definitely.
but the whole beach line, is kind of covered with.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not like you're gonna drive so much and see all the water. Yeah, unless you could drive down the sand.
There's a couple spots, there's a couple of down in Perdido Key. They do have a preserve, a nature preserve. So,
Oh really?
So there's a spot where they can't
There's
build.
nothing, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
That must be between. Is that between the two? From like where we were, the Purple Parrot, and then there's like a long ways, and then all of a sudden it's the Florabama area.
Yeah, I want
don't know.
to say. Yeah, there's actually a couple places. There's one in Gulf Shores, which is
Yeah.
Gulf State Park, and that's a big attraction. And then there's a place after the Bama, real short, little, the Perdido something. I think it's called Perdido Key Reserve or something
Yeah.
like that. And it's
That's cool. That's cool. They
another-
have that.
another little stretch of
Yeah.
of
Man. Yeah,
Nice
those
beach.
nice places get people flock to them, especially from
Right.
if they're in New England or Canada, and they're just tired of winter, like me. They flock right to them. But yeah, what a cool place! Because I think the first time I visited, the first time it was Christmas, and it was. This is technically third Christmas without snow, I think. Yeah, so the third year doing this, kind of coming south from in the wintertime. And that first time it was like, oh man, this is exactly what I like. Like Christmas with no snow, which some people say it's not really Christmas, but I'm okay with it. I'm
fine with it.
Yeah, I can do with the white sand. That's fine. It's snow enough looking. It's warm, but it's just kind of cool. You're out in shorts and stuff, in December. I don't know. For me, I don't know. Just at this point in my life, That's what I like, and I like to be able to play music. And that very first trip here was just, nothing. It was just a visit, and then next time we got a gig, and now we're here. I got a couple, and we actually had a few, and some kind of fell through, so we had more. but it's helping. We're getting more contacts, connecting with people. I don't know. I'm just saying. Johnny B says he'd love to have me there. We'll see. We got Rhonda's number. I don't know if Johnny B's here. That's a fun place. We were there last night. So this guy, Johnny B, you know more about him than I do, owns this restaurant. It's called The Front Porch in Lillian, Alabama, and it's a cool place, man. And just from what I've seen and heard, a lot of great players. I mean, especially if Jose's there, some great players there. But yeah, tell a little bit about that place. That place is cool.
I met Johnny B at the Bama, Florabama, but he's like a legend down here.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the band The Lucky Dogs.
Yep.
Johnny B's last name. Why does his last name escape me? I'm just used to calling him Johnny B. Barbados. Yeah, Johnny Barbados. Johnny Barbado.
I can see why he go with B. It's just
Johnny
easier.
B. Yeah,
That's cool.
Johnny Barbado.
Yeah.
Not like Barbados, the islands, but it's Barbado. But
I'm gonna switch this so we can look at the time, just so we can keep an eye on it. We're not really timing you here, Jose, but
cool.
we're only at 17 minutes. It's actually false. It says an hour and 17. It's not true.
No,
For some reason it adds an hour. I haven't figured that out yet.
Huh.
But yeah, that's cool. It's a cool. I get so excited about this stuff. I always want to make more content, but for one, it's time consuming. Editing is time consuming. This isn't bad. I just line them up and get our volumes right. Maybe put a little compression on it, and then it's good to go.
Yeah.
But then you got to upload and stuff. But anyway, so Johnny B is a bit of a legend from Louisiana. Literally,
He's from Louisiana. Yeah.
we were playing in, I get the name wrong every time, Jefferson, Louisiana, which is New Orleans, I guess. It's like right there. On Friday at this place called oh my gosh, what was it? The Shack, River Shack? River Shack right there in Jefferson. And he goes, I grew up a mile from there. He goes, that's the first place I partied and puked and got sick. And he's so funny to hear him talk in his Louisiana accents.
Yeah.
But he said that's a really cool place. And there's a place right down the road from there, he said, the Maple, that on a Monday night, you'll just see superstar talent. He goes, people that are going to be out in Europe that weekend. Like, during the week, they live there. And on the weekend, they fly out. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Some of those heavy New Orleans cats.
Yeah. But I guess they'd want, if they can officially say, I'm a New Orleans musician, some places in Europe, they're like, this is amazing. Like, we'll pay you. Have some money.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, those guys, they, it's not real hard to look them up and see that they're the real deal. But, yeah.
They eat, sleep, and breathe it.
Oh, yeah. So Johnny came out here, I don't know how many decades ago. He's been out in the Mobile area and then worked his way down to the beach, and all that. And, just became a major part of the music scene here. And I met him at the Bama. And this, I don't know if this is he's probably had a bar or two before, but this is his latest.
Yeah.
His latest bar, and he's doing a really good job promoting music. And
yeah, he's busy, man. It's interesting to hear him talk about it. Like, now currently he's looking for some younger musicians to come in a little bit later, because to a bar owner, it's important to have people there, people who get to eat, drink, and and enjoy the atmosphere, and as you grow that kind of thing. And he can look at a certain point of time. He's like, well, maybe on this night, a little later, there's not as many people. Maybe we'll try this. That's good for him, man. He says it's working. But that must be quite a thing to always be doing that, looking at it, trying to adjust it. And I know back ago there, he was having a hard time keeping people just, I think pandemic times, man, just messed everything out.
Yeah. Well, they're coming back, though. They seem like they're doing well.
Yeah, they did a bit of a remodel since I've seen it. It looked great.
Yeah, that looks great.
But that's a cool place. And that's not real far from where the Florabama is. And I'm sure there's just tons of places. Where we're going tonight, I feel like is it more of a touristy area? The wharf in Orange Beach?
Kind of is.
Yeah.
I mean, and Florabama is too. People,
Yeah.
they come here and that's one of the first places they go, or they, that's one of the, it's a major recommendation.
Yeah.
And so is the wharf. And the wharf is cool though. It's where the amphitheater is where the big concerts happen. If they happen on the beach, it's probably going to be at the wharf
Yeah.
amphitheater. And they got great restaurants and bars, like the place you're playing at tonight at Ginny Lane.
Ginny Lane.
Yeah.
Come on out. Nobody's going to see this for like a month. But it was cool back when it was. It was a cool, or what I was going to say, Mardi Gras time. Yeah.
Right,
I'm excited to see
so-
it. It looks like a pretty neat area.
Yeah.
Everything's so close together. Maybe it's not. It feels like it is. Like you go right from there to the Orange Beach area to...
Yeah, it's pretty
Gulf Shore.
close once you're down there by the beach,
Yeah.
Orange Beach. And, Alabama only has a really short
Piece of it.
coastline,
Yeah.
real small area when it comes to the coastline. But, yeah, it's just Gulf Shores and Orange Beach.
Yeah.
And
Oh, okay. For
that-
technically
that's
Alabama.
That's the
Yeah.
two beach towns.
Yeah. It must turn into Mississippi pretty soon. Up across there.
Well, yeah, you go to there's Dauphin Island, but that's it's different. That's an actual island just
Yeah.
south of Mobile. And then you're pretty much in Mississippi. Yeah.
Mobile, I haven't spent much time there besides micro wrestling for Paige's birthday. I've always wanted to go see the ship. I think it's the USS Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
The big ship there. They do tours and all that stuff. I've never really lined it up to have time to do it, but it looks pretty cool. Have you been on there?
I've been on that ship. Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild to see a
Must be
ship from World War II.
Yeah. Some of those tight quarters and stuff, and just
Yes,
A bunch of
It
people.
if you're claustrophobic, you
it's not the
might
best
not
tour.
like that tour.
Yeah. A lot of walking. I heard a lot of moving different levels, and
Yeah, if you want to, you can explore the whole ship, and it's a lot.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm,
But,
I'm looking at our signals.
Cool.
I should leaving that on the side. I thought I wouldn't look at it. No, that's great. Yeah, what a cool area. I'm pretty excited. So you have played along with quite a few. What's the word? Important or whatever, or affluent bands in this area and players. You just recently got done with one group there that was well known.
Right. So sad that my friend Rick Whaley passed away.
Yeah.
Just recently, and but we had a great run with his band, the Perdido Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did about 10 years there at the Florabama,
Wow. Yep.
or pretty darn close to 10 years.
Yep.
At least 8 or 8.5 or 9.
Yeah.
Something like that. But I started coming around there about 10 years ago when I moved down to this area.
Yep.
And I was living in Illinois before I came down
That's right
here.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in Illinois for like 26 or 27 years, something like that. But I came down here. My dad had settled in this area here in Little Robertsdale, and and immediately I found the Florabama. Dad said, "You got to check out the Florabama."
Oh, okay. Yeah. He knew.
Yeah, you do. If you're from the area, you know about the Blam. You maybe
Yeah.
you might not have hung out there, but you know about it.
Sure.
But yes, I checked it out, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll be coming back to this place." And
Yeah.
eventually, I met Rick Whaley there, and
Yeah.
and got in with the Perdido Brothers.
So that lined up pretty good.
Yeah, that was.
And what you
Pretty
do is
fortunate.
probably what you do is
Mhm.
it's not like when I show up to a place and it's like we need a guitarist. Well, there's 100 of us that are willing and ready to go.
Right.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, there's probably a certain feel and stuff that they
Yeah.
like to. You kind of get together and gel and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah. I think for me, I think one of my things is that I don't play a lot. I play hand percussion, and I'm really good at staying out of musicians' way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
that's why they like me, because I don't
Yep.
play too much.
Oh, hey man,
They like that.
and if you're cool enough to do that, and it works well for the whole entity, you know, if that's
Yeah.
cool, it's a gig, it's a job.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it's
one of the
fun.
complaints I get is that I maybe don't play enough, or just leave a little bit,
Do you ever back up and
Because
go
it's-
drum solo? You're like, oh man, this is not that kind of band.
right, right.
That's what I
yeah.
do to you if you're in a band with me. I'm just saying.
I never did really. Well, I like drum solos like in a rock situation. You
Oh,
know,
like a full set kind of.
right? I'll enjoy a good drum solo.
Yeah.
But really, that's not. I certainly. This is not my thing. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most of the situations you play in, I mean, how often do you hear a drum solo when you go hear a band,
Right.
say like at a bar or something?
Yeah,
or-
if it's not a big band like a touring big act,
Right,
you don't hear it
right.
a whole lot.
right. And if you do, it's maybe one solo,
One in
during
the
the
night.
course of the night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did that with
Yeah.
our drummer. Made him do it.
Sure. I love jazz, and when I was
Yeah.
living in the Chicago area, I caught a lot of jazz, and they would usually give the drummer some, but even so, even in jazz situations, two solos was maybe a lot. 2 or 3 solos was a lot.
I think a lot
Generally,
of
only would be only
that. A
one.
lot of that too. They give them like a few measures. Just zip through a few measures.
Or sure, yeah,
Something that's not.
plenty of fills and
Yeah,
stuff. but
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's another area I don't know much about. I haven't been there. I think just barely been through Illinois. Just
Oh,
a
yeah.
corner, just driving through. But Chicago's an area I do kind of want to check out. I'm a little leery about getting broken into. It's like everywhere
Oh.
you go nowadays. You got to just
Big
what can happen.
cities or
Yeah.
there's always a little risk. I think if you're just common sense careful, you're
Yeah.
probably going to stay out of trouble.
yeah. That's
You're
we
probably
try.
going to avoid any kind of.
We've had instances in this life, in these tours, where it's like we park somewhere and they were like, let's maybe move over here. This looks a little better. This is a little more lit. This is more around more people.
Sure,
Just-
sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I've seen people that have been broke into and stuff. It's like, and the more you do it, the more likely it can happen, and it probably will,
Sure.
just as long as we're prepared. Page, we can't ever leave. That's it. We're staying right here. We're not going to any city. Yeah. Sorry, New Orleans.
I love Chicago though.
Yeah.
I got to spend a lot of time playing and around the city, and checking out music. I was out there a lot. And, I really loved it. So much,
That's cool.
so much great music and all types of music.
Yeah.
as you can imagine.
That's interesting. So but when was that? Like what decade? It's probably.
I
better
moved
than
out there like in '85.
85. That's probably
Yeah.
a pretty cool time to be there.
It was a cool time. Well, the Bears had won the
Yep.
Super Bowl, so
Yep.
Chicago, like many big cities, is a big sports city.
Definitely.
They love their sports, and the Bears. That was something else. Of course, then shortly afterwards, the Bulls acquired Michael Jordan,
Yeah. Oh,
and that
man.
kind of, that brought basketball back up. I think.
Did you ever go to a game?
Yeah, I did.
You did.
I caught a few. I saw Michael Jordan play maybe two,
Yeah.
at least twice.
That's awesome.
Those are my heavy drinking days, so I don't
Yeah.
remember a whole lot.
I remember more from just watching him on TV.
right.
Oh man, that would have been something. That's cool. It's
Yeah.
cool to be able to say that. Like, man, I saw Jordan play live.
Right.
I have a friend that's like, I saw Stevie Ray Vaughan. I met him. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
jeez, like, it's
that would
like,
have been cool.
It's impossible now. Prince, all these guys that, whatever, people either die or retire. This is how life goes. And man, what a cool thing to be able to say, I got to do this. I've seen Billy Joel a few times. I hope one more time. I don't know. They're not going to be around forever, or they're not going to be at a playing level forever.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
just part of it. Get it in while you
Sure.
can.
How long ago did you see Billy?
The last time
My friend Billy.
was your friend. Yes. So Jose's back there with Krista Telefero, just doing all the percussion stuff. She's amazing too in his band. But I think last time was in. Jeez, it was with my friend Tina in New York City. Maybe just a couple years ago.
Okay.
But I've seen him 4 times.
Oh wow.
And I'd like to make it 5. He's there in July. Tickets are kind of stupid priced right now, but I think we're gonna just be in the area, and we're gonna look StubHub or whatever, and just be like, okay, we're gonna jump on maybe a cheaper resale ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Madison Square Garden is like, there's no real bad seats. We had Paige and I went the first time she went, and we had a vantage point from up high. You would have think it was like way up high, but it was in like oddly enough in like a handicap section where there was like a glass plated. It was designed so you could put a wheelchair in there, and so it wasn't fixed seating. It was like metal chairs, and so we just scooted right up to the edge, and we looked right down, and it wasn't straight down side view, but it was a bit of an angle, and it was like you could see everything. You didn't even need the screens. You could see everything. It was like right there. That was an interesting.
Nice.
And I see a lot of tickets get sold behind the stage there, and I don't know, but people say that's a cool spot to be able to sit and see everything. But I would think things would be in your way, the staging and stuff. But man, they've been doing it forever.
Sure.
They know how to do it, and I don't think there's a real bad seat there. So if we can weasel our way in, if we can, I mean, we could sneak in. I mean, I don't know. Somebody help us out. We want to see Billy in June 28th or something like that, or not like, but June something, whenever he's there. But yeah. But anyway, he's my favorite. I think. So many favorite musicians and people, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite?
Oh, no. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't have to.
I have a lot. No, I have a lot of favorites. Yeah, I mean, I've always been like a Stevie Wonder fan.
Yeah.
Geez, I love James Taylor. I got to see him
Oh, cool.
a while back, and gosh, it was such a great concert.
Yeah.
But I have a lot
Still
of favorites.
good.
Oh
He's
yeah.
still touring.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to see him. It was 80. I want to say 88.
Oh wow.
It was just a great concert
That's cool.
at a cool Chicago area venue, Poplar Creek, which I don't think is there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a great pavilion kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And but one of my early influences, of course, is Santana.
Yeah.
Carlos is a big influence because the percussion.
Percussion. Yeah, definitely.
And my first real concert, was Santana
At what
here
age?
in Mobile. I was like 18.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
So you were old enough
maybe
to really
17.
be into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was a junior, so I was maybe 17. I was a junior in high school, so.
Man.
But yeah, and it was here in Mobile
Yep.
that he played at. But yeah. So it was, I learned a lot from listening to
That's cool.
percussion on Santana albums. And,
Yeah. And amazingly enough, he's still touring. This is incredible. People that just keep going, and usually
that's
a
great.
lot of them. I mean, if they're on tour, they're probably gonna sound pretty good.
Oh yeah.
You would hope that they'd have enough. Their companies would have enough to realize if it wasn't very good, they're not gonna try to say that show. But you never know.
I mean, if they can sell the tickets, so
Yeah.
they'll put them out there.
For sure.
But yeah.
That's cool.
Santana.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of favorites. Bob Marley,
Yep.
was big Bob Marley
Yep.
fan.
Did you
Looking forward
ever
to
get
the
see
movie.
him?
No, I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish.
I don't actually know when he died.
Died in the early 80s, I want to say.
Yeah.
Maybe 1980, 81, something like that.
Man, crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
Yeah,
wrap, folks. No, just kidding. Wow, what happened here? There's a big sound spike. I probably yelled. I
that
think
you?
you're number 2. I think I'm. Wait a minute. 2. Okay, yeah, I'm the one on top. It's funny how my
Looks like a
wave
flat
files.
line.
Mine looks flat. Mine looks flatline. But I'm telling you, when I go to listen back, I'm loud. I don't know. I don't understand how that works. But yeah, yours looks great. Somehow your wave files are immaculate. Maybe you need to be a singer. Maybe that's a sign. You gotta mix it in there. Phil Collins did it for years.
Oh man,
Man, Phil doesn't look good. Poor Phil.
no.
He did tour though with Genesis recently. My friends from Phoenix got to see him. Like went way over to. Oh my gosh, where'd he go? He went over to like the East Coast or somehow to see the first. I think it was the first show of the Genesis tour where Phil's son played, and Phil was kind of seated singing, and which is sad in itself. But he said it was so good. It was such a production, and he sounded great. But he never finished that tour. He just wasn't well enough.
Wow, that's a trip.
But man, Phil's. I've been appreciating his stuff in Genesis a lot more lately. I listened to his book. He had a book called Not Dead Yet come out a few years back. Which is good. Which is good. Talking about literally going from one Live Aid to the other to play both of them, and like how stressful and crazy and all the things. And then, and the one time he played against all odds and messed up the piano part in the Live Aid, and it's just like he's just like the worst time to ever have that happen on the biggest stage ever. And I listened to it. I'm like, yeah, you slipped a note, but whatever. But for that guy, he's like. He's perfection. He's just so talented. But the point was,
Phil,
he'd sing and play drums. Just so there you go.
Oh man,
start working at it, Jose. You got a year.
Yeah,
We'll be back. No, I'm just kidding. But I do hope you get a more regular gig again.
so
Jump onto something. It's hard being in the transition.
it is. It is. I trust something will happen.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're doing it right though. You're still going out, seeing people, and supporting the local stuff. And yeah, I would imagine. Who knows? Maybe one of these groups around that are pretty busy don't know they need you. This might be a dynamic that we need. Once they hear it, they're like, "Oh, hey, what have we been missing?"
Right.
Cool.
Right. Yeah, you never know. I
Yeah.
do have to get out there and kind of do exactly that. Just kind of sit in with people and.
Yeah. Are open mics real busy around these parts? Like, I think they had some and they canceled some, and then
Yeah, well, the Florabama had a great one.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll bring it back. But there's some good ones out here. The Johnny B has one. I think normally on nights like tonight, or tomorrow night. I think he has his on Thursday nights.
oh, cool.
And that's a good one. There's one in Mobile. It's great at the Cedar Street.
Yeah.
Cedar Street Social Club. That's a great one. Lots of people turn up and
Nice. Wow.
pick and sing.
I wonder around here, some places that you play that whatever has a music scene. I mean, you should do it because you love it anyway. I mean, that's why we love music, right? We love to play because it's something that we enjoy and reduces stress. Hopefully, it boosts your longevity. But some people might just want to play to get out and play, and they don't care about necessarily help supplying your income. Not that I'm saying it's all about the money, but it's good to be in with a group that are focused enough to want to make sure they're getting compensating for something that they're doing. And but I wonder about this area. Is there a lot of folks that just like, man, I just want to get out and play and make some noise and just have some fun, or getting in with people that they'll actually pay them to do the job in a way.
Right. I mean, I think there's a lot going on here. There's this is I think there's a lot of room for all types of entertainers. From ones that are really just just not really worried about the money to I think this area employs a lot of musicians.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot. Bands, solo artists, duos, whatever. There's a lot of venues.
Which is helpful.
A lot of venues, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, coordinating all that.
Right.
Must be a nightmare. I don't blame places for having somebody do it for them. Because it's just like, you got to run a place. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
please,
Sure.
farm that out. Get somebody else to do that, help you do that for you instead of dealing with all that stuff. It does make it tricky for someone like me. I literally the first time I came and I saw the Florabama, didn't know what to think. I was just thinking, I was like, I will never fit in here. That was honestly my first thought. I was like, I don't know. This would be a fun place to visit because we have friends here, but I really don't know about playing here. But I don't know. Paige is talking to the guy the other night, and he's interested in trying to slide us in.
I mean, it's such a big place, and there's so much music there that they like a little bit of everything. I think they, you know, country, of course, is a big deal down there. And
that's a strike against me.
It's it's always been traditionally, you know, country filled, but there's there's everything now. Yeah, you know.
I would say even Chris Beverly, who we just learned about a couple nights ago. We went to see him last night specifically. He was doing like some 90s stuff. He did live and you know, some other covers and country for sure. And his stuff is some kind of a country outlaw kind of. I don't really know. I don't know what I would call it.
I mean, maybe some of it, you know, some of it is.
Some I think
he likes a little bit of, you know, bluesy stuff.
Yeah,
a little bit of R&B-ish kind of.
Yep.
Little rhythmic. So he's got great rhythm, and he likes to.
Those songs he said used to be in his band from like high school. Those were definitely kind of an interesting mix of genres.
Some of it is alternative rock stuff, you know. And he's another guy. Of course, he's from Orange Beach.
Yeah.
And I got to know him at the Florabama as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
His band, they rocked the Florabama.
Yeah. Oh, with the band, I bet it's pretty cool.
The band, they definitely rocked the Bama.
That's cool. Seems like a lot of fun. It's just a lot of talent. It's a cool area. It's a kind of a special area. Something that really before my travels here, I had no idea about. Didn't know.
And I think the climate, you know, attracts musicians as well.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, when you have a place that attracts tourism, you know, there's a good chance you're going to have music venues.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
But
I'm trying to think. What is it down here? Is it what's the food of choice? Is it crawfish here? Are they?
Well, the closer you get to New Orleans, the more the more they're gonna like crawfish. But they love it down here too. You know, we're close enough, and but you know, we got shrimp. We got Gulf shrimp.
That's right there.
Gulf shrimp is good.
Yep.
Really good. All kinds of Gulf fish out there.
I was gonna say parts of Florida I was in was grouper was the big thing. Grouper sandwich.
Grouper, yes.
Red snapper.
Red snapper.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's funny.
Lots of good fish out there.
There's a lot of fish in the sea, folks, but not so much down here because we eat them all. Silly. How long have we been gabbing? 44 minutes. It's pretty good. Man, it's time for a drum solo. I mean, that other drum he has is really cool. That new one you just got was that one sounds great.
This is a djembe here.
A djembe.
This is a djembe.
I'm sitting here calling it a drum and a conga. And
oh, well, you know, it's a drum. Yeah, it is a drum.
Yeah,
it's just another kind of drum. These I think came, you know, from West Africa. I want to say.
Somewhere Africa. A little more bass just doing like this.
Well, you can probably hear the bass when I hit the middle of this drum. You get that bass, but otherwise it's a higher pitched ringing, but you get down there and
man, listen to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
But it's a lot of fun playing this, but it's not as, you know, it's hard. It's harder to blend this drum with you know, with acoustic guitars, for example, which is normally when I play with someone, it's almost 99% of the time it's going to be a guitar player
and vocals. Is it is it like on the spectrum of sound? It's like the guitars are a certain sharpness or whatever, and then you're coming in here trying to equal out the sound, or
yeah, I mean, you know, the nature of the djembe it's just the you know, the tones that comes out of it they don't just quite blend as well, and it's just the conga tones are more rounder, softer, more I don't know, They just blend. They just blend better.
Interesting.
The congas do. Yeah, so they're not as popular. I think there's been congas have had times where they're real popular in acoustic situations, and you see them more.
Yeah.
I don't see them so much anymore. Part of that is the cajon. People play cajon.
It's amazing how good they can
just a
sound.
box is what it
Yeah,
is.
they put a mic up to that sound hole, and it's just
Make
It
it sound
sounds
like a
pretty
drum
good.
set.
It does.
You can
Bizarre.
get out of there. You can get a snare drum sound out of it, and whatever.
Is it comfortable? Have you done much of it?
I played one a couple times. Yeah,
That's
I didn't
really
find it super comfortable myself.
Yeah.
You're sitting on this box basically.
Yeah,
That's how you
you
play it.
lean
You
over.
sit on the box and
Yeah.
you play it. I didn't find it super comfortable,
Yeah.
but I'm sure you can figure it out. And I wasn't very good at it at all.
Yeah.
But I've heard some guys really play
Yeah.
really well where I did not miss a drum set. Where I thought this is probably a better choice than a drum set for this situation.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. And so that's one of the reasons why you don't see congas so much anymore, because
Yeah.
you have that.
Well, and they're cheaper. Those things.
Well, yeah,
Those things are
yeah.
considerably cheaper, probably.
Yeah,
It's
easy to haul around,
You,
and
you can
all
find
that.
you can find a cheap one for like $100, I think. Crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, things are so expensive. She was just saying, gosh, I got a 15-foot microphone cable for $35. I was like, ugh. It is lifetime guarantee though at Guitar Center. I'm excited about that. At least it's hopefully one that won't die right off. And if it does, you bring it into Guitar Center. Say, give me a new one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I would think guitars are out of sight expensive now.
Oh man.
Somehow, but I would think those, and maybe those are a little more of a specialty item that they don't necessarily make.
I mean, no, you can
Tons
get
of
djembes became popular. I don't know a while back, and
Yeah.
so you see them at the music stores, and you can get them used, pretty good.
Yeah, as
pretty
long as they
reasonable.
last a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I like this brand LP. That's what I kind of grew up with, and they last. They
Yeah.
really do.
Long
Requires
play,
a little
LP.
care.
I don't know.
I mean, Latin percussion.
Or Latin percussion, whatever. But this shows what I know.
It's an old company. LP is,
Yeah.
it's one of the probably the leaders. It was like Ludwig was back in the
Yeah,
day,
drums.
or somebody
Yeah.
like that. LP pretty much had the market on Latin percussion, and they might still have the market. But there's so many other brands out there now that
Yeah.
you can play that you can get. But yeah, I like my LPs.
Yeah, some of those curses. We were just talking about yesterday on the ride about Zildjian Company being 400 years old.
Holy smokes!
That blew my mind. My buddy Scott and I went to Boston to see this production. He works for them, Vic Firth out of Newport, Maine, and owned by Zildjian. And we went to Boston to do this, to go see this celebration, 400-year celebration. It started over in the Middle East, whatever, way back before the United States was even a thing. And the symbols actually didn't look a whole lot different to what they are today. I'm sure they've improved them, but it's just wild to think. Technically, the oldest company in the United States is Zildjian, because it started way back over there. 400-year celebration. That was we had a good time. But some of these big brands that have been around, Ludwig, DW, those are ones that I always think of like being pretty high end and usually money. Yeah, whole drum sets. Drummers, man, they got it bad. They always have to buy things, a rack to hold things, and
Yeah,
pretty sweet. You can not that you're getting away with less, but that you don't have to necessarily bring so much, and you can still do your job.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've heard that a lot. I've heard a lot as I brought in my setup is generally the easiest on stage there.
But you just don't need all that stuff. That's the other thing is like you have less to mess with, so you got to make sure what you do is pretty consistent.
Most of the gigs I played, were just two congas.
Yep.
That's all I brought.
Yeah.
Two congas, and that pretty much got me through the whole. And on occasion, I'd pick up a shaker or something like that,
Yep.
some hand percussion. But and that's still pretty much. I have a Wednesday gig.
Yep.
That I'm really blessed to have with Phil and Foster, here in Mobile, Phil Proctor and Stan Foster, and I pretty much just play congas. I bring the two congas with them.
Yep.
And I'm gonna start bringing my bongos. The bongos are the little ones that are
the little guys.
come in a pair. You
Yep.
know, I'm gonna start bringing that.
Some high end.
Yeah, just something to add. You know, it takes up more space. So there's a lot of reasons why I tend to stick with the small with the small setup. It's a lot of times it's just out of convenience and just out for space reasons. But at the Bama, I was using a djembe like this,
Yeah.
and the congas.
Cool.
That was my setup and hand percussion.
Damn. Just like
Yeah.
that. Cool, man.
That's about it.
I learned a lot about life. Who'd have known? I just been like, Jose, talk to me about life. Talk to me about Latin percussion. I didn't know that's what that stood for. That's so funny.
LP.
LP,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
People put out LPs, but that's different. That's a different thing. We put on an EP or an LP.
Oh, sure,
where
sure.
That's different.
LP,
Part of the
yeah.
language. The music thing. That's cool, man. I'm glad. I hope you get a more regular game. I guess we lucked out that today was the celebration of Mardi Gras over there. They didn't have your thing tonight.
Oh yeah, no. Well, tonight actually they just every once in a while at Callahan's where we play on Wednesday nights. Every once in a while they'll have a traveling band come through or a traveling artist, and that's really what it was about tonight. And there's a traveling artist playing, and so we'll be there tomorrow night this week.
Oh, okay. So they just pushed it back a day. Okay, I guess I got that confused. Well, we'll be in Mississippi when you're playing, so that's cool. We'll both have a gig at the same time. I'll be sitting there with my electronic congas. I was actually looking for something to make that sound, and nothing on that. It's a free app called BandLab. There's nothing that really sounds good that I found yet, but I'd like to have something just to hear you like to add to it.
Oh, yeah.
I do a lot of it with my vocals still, which you'll see. But it's interesting doing the bass and the snare or whatever.
You'll
whatever
do
it
that
is.
live.
I do it live, so I do it all at the same time. So instead of just layering one, here's a bass kick, here's a bass kick, here's something for a snare or a clap or something. I'll try to do the hi-hats and stuff with my voice and this at the same time, just so I can do it real quick and I can knock it out in like a measure or two and just be like, okay, here we go, and then I just hit the button and it keeps going.
Oh, you loop it, sure.
And so I hit the loop, and then it's just my drum beat for the song. So it's not like having somebody live, but it's
Sure.
But it's interesting when I'm playing the guitar over it, and sometimes I'll add a bass line, and they'll sing over it. It fills it up pretty good. We'll see what kind of folks come out tonight, and
Excuse me.
what degree of intensity will be called for. I'm sure you have those nights. You're like, I'm gonna have to really hit this thing, like, cut through this crowd.
Yeah, I try not to compete with the crowd so
Yeah,
much.
that's smart right
you
there.
Just play, and I figure if they want to hear, if they want to listen, they'll they'll take it down a notch.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. That's actually very smart. People will fight the noise. That's a thing you can get into, and
You're
and it's
probably not
bad-
going to win that battle.
Yeah,
no.
and then someone's going to be mad.
I mean,
Management.
you're going to be louder, but it's not going to
Yeah,
be good. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
You don't want to be too loud.
Yeah, it's a bit of an art, really, dealing with a venue, people, your band, your own pride. What do we want to call it? Just what you want to do, want to feel it and hear it. Keeping everybody happy. They want to make money. They want people to eat and drink.
Right.
You want to entertain, make sure you're good at what you're doing. You want to hear yourself. Sometimes you feel it, you can do a better performance. But sometimes it's like they just want you to be quiet. Just be in the corner, make a little noise, and those hurt my voice more than anything.
Oh yeah.
Trying to sing things that I sing quietly.
It might be hard. Yeah.
It's a killer. It's just Hotel California. Oh, really quiet. Here we go. Yep. But
Yeah,
that's cool,
those gigs are tough. I see a
Yeah.
place like the Florabama, but there's not a lot of places like that.
Right.
But
can
and certain
stop
bars on a
loose.
Friday night where you can get away with. Obviously, you can get away with cranking it up. And
yeah.
But
Yeah, we had some great ones recently, just coming up this west coast of Florida, that we just got to crank it. I'm not sure. I might need another speaker. I don't know. I've been having them pretty loud lately, but it's fun. Those are fun shows. Just it's a good time.
turn it up.
Yeah. That sounds like an Alabama thing. Skinner. In Birmingham, they love the governor. Cool. All right, man. Wow, we've been chatting for just about an hour, man. Well, I appreciate you. Thanks for letting us stay here. That's super helpful. We've been having some fun.
Glad to have you.
We watched Cocoon, a 1985 classic that you can't stream anywhere. We had to find a DVD of it. Like nobody cares. Paige, nobody cares about Cocoon. Just stop talking about it. No, just kidding. No, that was fun though. No, it's been great.
Yeah.
Lambert's. We have Lambert's where they throw the rolls. They throw rolls across the. That was in Foley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny.
Yeah, I pigged out.
Oh man, so much food
out
over
over there.
Yeesh. Pretty cool place. Cool, man. I guess we'll cut it there and we'll call it good. And thank you for having me here. We'll see you again sometime. Hopefully, I'll be. We'll see. Like I'm more popular in this area, but maybe we'll have more shows booked and.
Right on.
Keep doing what we're doing and.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, all that was. Thank you, man.
You got
Everybody, have a great week, and I have no idea what today is, but we'll see you on the next one. Where's the damn button?
I'm falling sideways.